I'm just getting ready to do another video for Keyboa as a physical exercise method. So don't let that dissuade you from watching me right now while I offer you a science-based video. So we're going to talk about Chronocosmonomy, and this video is for all of the serious students, my pupils in the study in the serious independent research. I'm going to, honestly, off the top of my head, but I will give you this one introductory note, and you will see in the archives of all of this project, everything is well documented. In the last 24 hours, I have been interfacing with more of the formal mainstream university realm, let's call it. And what I've been realizing, I've done what I needed to do independently, and the next phase would be coming out of that austere discipline, because it's isolating, and coming out to a more public sponsorship, formal or informal as it may be. If I could get an honorary degree, that would be great. There's a few institutions that I'm contemplating. Now, the seeds have been planted for a long time, and just kind of cultivating it recently, especially in the last 24 hours, we reach a new level of branching out and coming away from that really central, intense focus that I've had in order to discover what is the whole basis of chronocosmonomy. The discovery is still fascinating me, as it will fascinate you. Just the idea, if we put it in context of the current zeitgeist. Again, we're talking about the mainstream. Again, we're talking about the majority of the human beings on the earth at this time, circa 2020s, 2025, but really just the whole postmodern era, if you want to call it that, like after the Industrial Revolution really set in. So we're talking like the past 120 years approximately. And in this zeitgeist, we have some, I don't need to mention names, but we have the major influences on the way people think about science and astronomy, physics, quantum mechanics, etc., 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 even history, even sociology. But that's all going to get exploded, and we're going to get into something totally, and I'm getting ready for the physical exercise. I need it, because I was in the car too much yesterday. And what's too much? Like, what's the measurement of time for that? Well, I'll tell you. Now, cars are different, so you have a little variation in that. But 1 hour in the car is way too much. If you're talking like half an hour, thereabouts, or whenabouts, that amount of time is doable. It is survivable. But were you going an hour and more, like 2 hours plus, whoa. Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you. Powerful mind, powerful body. It needs to be together in balance. You can't ignore one. You know, I'm not some weak. I'm not going to name any names because they don't need more publicity. What needs more publicity is tasciotti, and I'm here to do that. I'm self-promoting. I'm a self-made man. Tasciotti, Chronocosmonomy, the time-space waves. Enough of the intro. Now, what are we going to get into right now? To be honest with you, I don't really know, but something is going to pop up into my mind, which will be our specific focus, the component within Chronocosmonomy. So why don't we talk about the map charts some more and really just give you the most important secrets, as it were. And they are secrets because these are not available in the university. These are new, and these I've had to protect. I've had to nurture this on my own. And what are the map charts? So essentially, there's several different kind of map charts, but the most important one is the mapping of all the eclipses geocentrically. Now, having said that, geocentric is a frame of reference. It's frame. It's inertial and non-inertial, and you know, these different physics terminologies, different physics knowledge, Cartesian coordinates, etc., celestial sphere, celestial coordinates, coordinates in the system that they have, or we as science have agreed to. It is geocentric for the fact that being on the earth, we experience, it's not just about seeing, remember, I got plenty of videos saying it's not about the sense of sight, it's about the sense of timing. So we have the experience of it, which we can observe, which we can feel on all different levels, if we try, if we're aware of it, if we learn that in Chronocosmonomy. We do our empirical observations. We use the scientific method. And what we realize is that there's a pattern of the two types of eclipses, generally speaking, and that's from the position of the three planets, the three-body problem. 3. With the Earth being the central one. It's the position, it's the context of that. The moon being over here, the sun being over there, and a straight line. And then sometimes the moon switches position, or vice versa, a different way of looking at the Earth switches position. Now, I'll give you one other caveat, which is posited. We need to do some really simple data observations and gather it empirically. I am saying that we must be closer to the sun during the full moon phase. We must be farther from the sun during the new moon phase. That's intense. Okay, underline that and see what I'm saying. Nobody else has said that before. And it just took me, a few seconds to say it? It is a powerful theoretical challenge. And as I said, we can simply prove it. I'm either wrong in that theory, or guess what? Anyone can prove it. Anyone can do the in fact, you can do it right now. You beat me to it, because I don't have a lot of equipment. I don't have a lot of time. I'm the originator of all this. The reason why you would have such a question that I just stated, a scientifically charged challenge, because it comes from the core of chronocosmonomy. That's why no one has ever asked before. No one could conceive of it before. Now that's saying something. That's why you come to this class, because it is amazing. Say amazables, the balls, amazing. Anyhow, it's marvelous. So map charts are using time-space waves. There you go. There's another thing. That's another key phrase. That's a major one. That's an important one. That's a frequent one that we're using, that I'm using right now in the promotion of chronocosmonomy, because chronocosmonomy as a word of terminology is very difficult to kind of like. Time-space waves, though, is 3 words that are much more common. Chronocosmonomy is the search engine, the chat, the AI said, is a portmanteau, it's a montage, it's a the this, the that. Maybe, if you want to be a linguist or you want to play semantics. Okay. However, having said that, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about time-space waves. What is that? That's not a portmanteau. Time-space waves is time, how it affects space, and the wave of it. However, this is a very subtle understanding that is for the advanced scientist. All waves are not the same. There's 2 types of waves. And I don't mean the longitudinal, amplitude, and all that stuff, or, the energy wave in field theory. I'm talking about a wave in reality as opposed to a wave on a graph. That is a part of graphing out data. You come with a visual wave that you study, because it's the information being visualized as a wave. You understand the difference? I mean, because maybe if you've never known that there's a difference when the term waves is used, this is really huge. This is wave theory. The thing is, people sometimes blend that together in their mind, and they don't know the distinction, that there's 2 almost completely different waves that we're coming from in the definition of wave. However, this comes with the big question. When you create a visual wave as the main component of the map charts in chronocosmonomy, is that the same as discovering there's a wave in the reality, in the universe? Because how can you have a wave visually in a graphic presentation of the data, and there's no wave in real life? But there must be. Or no? So that also is a very theoretical, perhaps quite abstract idea that is also part of chronocosmonomy. So when I talk about the map charts, we're not talking about just some, simple thing, tic-tac-toe, brush it off. No. Map charts are the bomb. And I love my map charts. I don't have any map charts right here, do I? No. But I can make one for you. I can draw you something right here. Right now, I can demonstrate to you the basics of the map chart, which I didn't even really prepare for, but this is a class, and I'm going to probably wrap it up just with this. But you see, here is, and I'm going to do this is difficult, but I have to do this just by looking at the screen. So what you have is time goes up like this. This is time. Okay, time goes up like that. And so what you have is the wave going like that. And it travels upwards. And the reason why the wave changes the direction and come back again, pretty much there's a variation in the span, but it stays within a range. There's like 2 or 3 different widths of the wave from side to side, but it stays in a range. It's just not very severe. There's different ways to make the map chart, because if you consider, and now I'm giving you like much more detailed particulars, but if you're going to do a map chart which is depicting tetrads, whoa! So in tetrads, you have a totally the chart, it looks different then. But if you don't consider the tetrad, then the waves are going to be within the same size, but there is going to be a curve back and forth, like a much larger curve, which produces the major wave. There's a minor wave, then there's a major wave formed by all the little waves together. So I think that's enough for you to know right now, and it is about the eclipses, lunar and solar, as I said, with the geocentric perspective or system, positioning system. And with all those eclipses, you can plot the data as a wave graphic, and that is the map chart. So I've told you basically everything in general. There's a few other things, but with that, now you know the secret of it. And it's not a secret anymore, because it is a major scientific breakthrough at the core of chronocosmonomy.